All right. All right. So, you know what? I'm also dropping a few missiles with these screenshots right now. This, I think, will be the loss of this drama, where I directly make a video about young Weenie and his little friends. So, what you see here, this is where it all started, right? This all started right after he posted the video that I asked him not to do. After posting the video, here is me saying, please take the video down. Because of that one thing, it makes everything misinformation. That one thing was about the payment issue, that I wasn't paid, right? But before we go into this, let us go to what I had mentioned before about how Wavy was very defiant in actually wanting to pay Maxwell what he earned. So for all the people that show me, Kippy, you pathetic traitor, right? You were never a real one. It's why I never liked you. Never liked you. And now I know why. Because you two are just a slime ball. You're just a slime ball, bro. An opportunistic slime ball. But anyway, for all the people who are working with Young Wavy and going to be working with him in the future, well, look at the attitude of somebody who owes someone $2. Look at his attitude to this, right? Maxwell came to me and said, yo, Wavy still hasn't paid me what he owes. What's going on? Can you talk to him? So this is what I said. Yo, bro, please send Maxwell his money immediately. He said you haven't paid him yet. This looks really bad because you will be handling the cash of their books. Not paying immediately isn't good business. He had trouble setting up his PayPal, but he's been ready since the last 2 days. Look at this response, bro. This is the response of an arrogant a-hole. So he says, I will be paying Maxwell and Santi. Santi didn't get paid either. But Santi was not knocking at the door asking Wavy questions, Santi was not displaying any sense of masculinity on his own behalf for whatever reason. Not showing his spine for whatever reason. And look, Santi, you know I hate people like this. You know I hate especially men who cannot stand up for themselves. I hate people like that. It's pathetic, it's disgusting, it's revolting. You're supposed to stand up for yourself. You're supposed to know your value. And if you're going to let yourself be dragged by the nose by some liar like Wavy, that's on you, bro. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend I understand. I don't understand. I find that as being a coward. But anyway, he says, I will be paying Maxwell and Santi their October payout of $2.46 on the 6th of January. Tell him to be patient. He will be paid. Or tell him to contact me directly like he originally did so I can tell him myself. What sort of response is this? If the payout came in October, why is then people getting paid in January? Right? How can somebody who owes you money say, be patient? This is the type of person you guys are going to be working with. Okay. Oh, and yeah, look, I know what's her face, that crackhead, right? Yeah, she made a video saying I tried to cancel her. I've never done a video trying to cancel her. I've never done anything towards this girl. Never, right? But it's clear as day that she took orders from young Weenie, because young Weenie could not rebuttal the video me and Seiji dropped. He couldn't do it, right? So he had to send this woman over here to smear the narrative and blah, blah, blah. But don't worry. I will be dropping a nice breakdown of all of this on Patreon. I didn't do anything to you, Dunfan. I don't know what your problem is. I have no idea. But whatever. all these 200 comments, like 99.99% of them are all based on ignorance and people who hate me anyway. Imagine 500 likes on a subject you don't fully understand. It's just insane. But something like this is going to appeal to those who are already brain dead. A lot of likes, a lot of views, a lot of comments. That means it's true. Anyway, I then respond and say, cool. He said you just told him we'll talk. You forgot the January 6th part. You see, this, I have told Wavy about his bad communication skills. And when you're dealing with payouts, when you're dealing with people and their money, you're not supposed to have bad communication skills, because you're going to create confusion. That leads to frustration. That leads to assumptions. Right? But of course, Wavy doesn't understand this because he doesn't really care. Obviously, he'd panic. This is why I always say people need dates. He then says, I don't forget when it comes to payment. And he wouldn't have panicked if he's looking at the Discord. He can see the exact amount is nothing to panic over. If it's nothing to panic over, why can't you just pay the $2? Doesn't this sound like a tyrant? Isn't this gaslighting? Isn't this the rhetoric of a manipulator? Yeah, I think it is. Think about it. I owe you $2. And then when you say, give me my $2, I'm like, chill, bro, it's just $2. It's nothing to panic over. It's nothing to stress about. Well, if it's not, give it to me then. This guy could not pay $4 to Santi in total and Maxwell. I should say $5. This guy didn't have $5 on him. He didn't have $5 on him. And yet I'm out here paying people $10 per chapter, right? On the All-Star category on my site, right? I'm paying people who can reach 1,000 views, $10, right? This is crazy. Somehow I'm the terrible person. I'm the awful person. People here get paid. We got receipts. But this has showed that, all the spectators and everybody who's aware of this indie space, they don't care about receipts. They don't care about the story. They don't care about the art. They care about how much you resemble their mindset, their pathetic mindset, right? Their liberal, dumb-ass mindset. Now, I'm accused or considered an extreme conservative. Nigga, please. No, I'm not. I'm not a religious nutcase. I'm not a right-winger. I'm just an individual who actually knows right and wrong. That's all. So, but at the end of the day, now that I have fully understood that this space doesn't care about the product, like they will slander the products here, slander my own product, that the art is bad, the story is bad, and whatnot. But then when you look at Danfon's work, or look at some people at Show Me, you're not gonna say any of that at all. But anyway, man, it's there's a lot of hypocrisy here. People just want to defend their favorite YouTuber because they provide some sort of dopamine that makes them feel better about themselves. It's got nothing to do with the books, with the stories, with the actual content of what they're selling. It's all surface level dribble. Is this person aligned with my mindset? Fully so, yes or no? If not, I don't like him. I'm not gonna buy his stuff. I'm not gonna support his stuff. Did you read any of it? If you did, were you reading with a bias to look for problems and mistakes? That's probably the case. But anyway, check it out, man. You're working with someone who's a high school dropout who didn't have $5 on him to pay 2 people on time, even though the October payout, right, was in October, and he decided that I'm going to pay you in January 6th. And by the way, he did not get paid on January 6th. There was still a delay after that. How does that make any sense, man? I then say, nah, bro. I mean, look at my language. You see, you gotta understand, people, that just because I can yell on my videos, that doesn't consider me a crash out, you stupid fuck. It's for emphasis sake. It's for the entertainment value sake. When I actually am having a conversation with someone, I'm normal. If you people take a YouTube video as that's my true character, you're dumb as hell. You're dumb as hell. It means you cannot actually receive and process information. Everything must be received and somewhat processed based on how someone delivers something. If they don't sound like your mother sweet talking you, or they don't sound like your demented young brother who's on all kinds of medication, sounding like a drone when he speaks like young Weenie himself, you're automatically gonna say, there's something weird with this one. He expresses himself way too differently in comparison to us who are dead inside. I just cannot believe that these are the types of people that populate this indie space, or the internet, I should say. But if you people actually have a brain and you can think for yourself, look at the tone of the language, of the writing here in this exchange with Wavy. Who sounds like a dictator here? Is it me or is it him? Right? When Wavy speaks, he sounds like a soft-spoken little boy. He can do you no harm. When I speak, I sound like I can do you harm. But at the end of the day, who has been doing harm? It's Wavy himself. Look at how he writes things in comparison to me. Look at the coldness of his words. It's crazy, but listen, I'm not going to try to appeal to the masses of this space any longer, because there are people who've been saying they're on my side. Yeah, Coffee, woo with you, blah, blah, blah. And then I see you in the comments section throwing me under the bus on Don Fon's video. It's like, wait a minute. I thought we were cool. You throw me under the bus. You're defending a thief like Wavy. And wow. Just wow, man. I ain't gonna try to appeal to the masses in this space any longer. Right? I'm not. At the end of the day, I'm still the only guy with the most product out there. Y'all need to catch up. Right? But now with the new business model that we're implementing, there's going to be more returns for me. You can still sit and watch. You can still sit and watch, no problem. But I see now that, yeah, if ever I thought about playing it safe, I'm definitely not going to do it now. Luckily, I never thought about playing it safe. But if for whatever reason I was going to smoke something and try to play it safe, I now will remember this day that, nah, bro. Nah. You still won't be able to protect yourself even if you play it safe. But anyway, I say, nah, bro, he worked his hours and he deserves that small amount. He deserves more than that. You have to take this as a business. You wouldn't work at your day job if your boss told you to be patient instead of paying you on the agreed date. It's not fair. Wavy then says, I'm in the zone right now. I know who I have to pay. Right? This is him again using that dismissive language. I'm in the zone right now. Fuck your zone, bro. He does this to everybody who brings an issue to him. I'm busy, I'm working, you're disturbing me, whatever, whatever. I know who I have to pay. Once payment is issued with any legitimate publishers, artists don't see payment until at least a month after the payment is issued from the publisher. With me, payment is issued a lot faster. So again, the rest of the payment will be sent out on January 6th. Well, if the payout was in October, bro, you didn't pay a month later as you're describing here, or sooner. It took you November, December, 2 months basically. So a traditional publisher pays you a month later, but under Wavy Comics' rules, he won't pay you 2 months later instead of one. Though he be saying that he pays out sooner. This your king? Is this your king? This is your boss. This is your big cheese. This is the guy you're defending. Oh my word, man. Then I said, cool, but that's something you should explain to the team. They obviously don't know that. They've never worked in the industry like you. It's the least you can do. Just explain how it works, because you said you can pay people ASAP in Discord. You didn't mention this part, so obviously they'll be upset. Common sense. Guys, it's common sense, bro. It's common sense. Then he says, again, it's simple. You go tell Maxwell you will be receiving payment on January 6th. So that means within this week, because he did not contact me directly. He contacted you. Relay the information so he doesn't panic and lose his mind. Look at this language, y'all. Pay attention to this language. Very aggressive, eh? And I'm the aggressive one. This guy getting upset over people asking for their money? Wow. Matter of fact, tell him it's the new year. He shouldn't, nor anyone else should be panicking. What the hell does that even mean, bro? Guess what, guys? You're still with him, right? As a matter of fact, tell him and anyone else, because it's the new year, nobody should be panicking. Does any business function like that? Does any business function like that? Like, you have to be truly a brain dead zombie and a cuck to biblical proportion to still be working with someone like this, man. This mounting evidence that this guy doesn't care about you. He be using y'all. He has a problem with paying you on time. He has a problem with delivering the product itself on time. You're still going to sit there and defend the guy. Oh, beyond retarded, bro. Then I say, bro, again, my language, I'm trying to de-escalate everything, right? I'm trying to de-escalate the situation, trying to make everything chilled, right? I'm calling the nigga, bro, you are wrong in this. Literally, everyone will tell you the same thing. If you don't see that, you will lose people. Then he says, lose who exactly? People you're going to have to work with. You got to remember, people are soft. If you're going to be hard on them on simple things like transparency, you will lose their trust. They want constant communication and reinforcement of established agreements. Now, upon all this disaster, I see the need of contracts after all. I was like, yeah, who needs a contract? But no, after all of this, you do need a contract. My issue was being in the jungle. How can I enforce a contract? Well, actually, now I can. Now I can enforce whatever is going to be on that contract because I'll be working with a U.S. company, right? So, you don't like doing that, but sadly you have to because that's how relationships are now. You gotta look from their perspective in this. This guy has no ability to put himself in the shoes of others. He just does not have that ability. And all of you who keep defending him and rubbing his chest, right? I have to call you stupid. I don't know what else to call you. I cannot call you naive because if there's evidence that this guy is a thief, this guy is indifferent to all of you, and you still working with him, you have Stockholm syndrome. You're a bunch of people who are so used to being abused, taken advantage of, right? Exploited, that you don't mind that it's now Wavy who's going to drag you across the mud. You are people who have no self-respect, no integrity, no backbone. You aren't people, you're slaves. You're disgusting. I hate working with those who cannot think for themselves, man. It means you're nothing but Neanderthals. You're puppets, cannon fodder for Wavy Comics. And if you're okay with that because you know that you're just an expendable, disposable piece of trash that he can use and let go at any moment, if you're okay with that and that's your intention, so be it. But don't demonize me for being a tyrant when the true tyrant is right here. Here's the true tyrant, bro. Then he says, I heard exactly what you said the first time. Look at this language again, bro. And again, I will be issuing out the payments for the last 2 remaining artists on January 6th. That's this week. And while we're on the subject of transparency, I haven't heard Maxwell's voice since our first meeting. He hasn't even been active in the Discord to see the exact payout analytics that I provided, which is transparency. How would you know he hasn't seen it? It's not like Discord says so-and-so has viewed this. He had seen it. Then I responded to this saying, I did tell you he was in the forest at his grandma's house. He was stuck there. He has access to the post in the group, but has no privacy to join calls. Nobody's upset about January 6th, just about not saying so earlier. And after this, he then made a video call. Because perhaps he caught on that, man, I'm pretty much incriminating myself here. Let me try to manipulate this guy over a call. Let me try to change the subject over a call. That's exactly what he did. You know, it's not like I was oblivious to all these things. I just kept putting them to the side. Saying, well, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You know, it was a big deal. Hey, everybody working for Young Weenie, if you haven't signed a contract, you're cannon fodder. And don't worry, people at Coffee Originals, they want to sign a contract so that they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. Because if you don't sign anything, opportunist crooks like this sack of trash here is going to be dragging you across the mud for your entire career, basically. He can flip and flop and change things, yada, yada, yada. Now let's go to where I asked him to take the video down, right? Now this is where the accusations of me being a dictator come. But now we've established that Wavy's the dictator. Wavy's the one who say comic companies pay artists a month after, right? But he then says, I pay people sooner, but he actually paid people 2 months later. So we've established that he's cognitively dissonant and impaired, yeah, but more so, he's cognitively dissonant. He has no self-awareness of any wrong that he does. In other words, he's a sociopath. He's a sociopath and psychopath. He's the type of guy who would legit stab you if he needed something from you that he couldn't get any other way. He would stab you, right? Go take the knife and go throw it down the river, wash the blood off, and walk home as if nothing ever happened. And you'd sit there bleeding out, dying, and asking yourself, but it was just a simple disagreement. Why did he have to do that? Wavy is the type of person who would kill you. If the opportunity was there, he would kill you. You should really think about that. Oh, and Vein Lover, you guys are in California as well. So, I'd watch out. Because if you run into him and he really wants final falsehood to remain there, who knows what he might do? Who knows what he might do? Seriously, this guy's a sociopath. But anyway, the narrative is that I'm a dictator. I'm the one who's trying to overstep, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's where it looks like I'm trying to overstep, right? He made the video that I asked him not to do. If we scroll slightly higher here, is there a part that I said that there was nothing written. I know he already played some of the voice clips. So I said here, please take down the video because of that one thing. It makes everything misinformation, and they didn't ask for it. They didn't take a jab at you or us. This looks like a circus. I'm the founder of this movement. You gotta listen to me, man. And here's where dumb mother effers stop listening. This is where they stop listening. You told him that you're the founder and he has to listen to you. This is where they stop listening, which is the majority in this space. The majority in this space don't want someone to put their foot down. They don't want someone to be a man. They always want you to be a bitch ass, a cuck, a loser, and be a slave, be dragged around like a rag doll. The moment you display any form of authority, they switch off and retaliate. So already right now they've switched off. And whoever's going to make a response video to this, they want to be like, you see that part right? Everything else, they can no longer hear anything else I'm saying. So I say, you have to listen to me because I made this movement. I never agreed with Show Me or Don Fun joining. You put them in MANAA that I created without my approval, right? You are controlling the whole image in a way I don't agree with. I once said Ogo uses MANAA in an urban aesthetic and how Coffee Originals is the purest approach. I established that. The people you involved recently are neither that. And to his admission, which he will say here, Don Font does not represent MANAA. So what the hell is she doing there? What is she doing there, bro? Imagine you're McDonald's, right? And you want to do a collaborative campaign on food health. But then you decide to collaborate with a vegan company. How are y'all representing the same idea? McDonald's and a vegan company? How are you representing and pushing one narrative? This is cognitive dissonance. You know, this exact description here, cognitive dissonance, that he is running with all the time. It's like, bro, you're uneducated, Wavy. You didn't know that phrase existed before I said it. Nigga, you couldn't read. Oh, man. This nigga couldn't read for the longest time in his damn life. He now hears this phrase, cognitive dissonance. Oh man, that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna use it for everything in every context. You're a dumbass, bro. You can't use it in every context. You uneducated slime. Oh my goodness. Okay. The aesthetics of the magazine isn't consistent on the basis that all the styles are so different. The vibes are different, and you forced this integration. That's why I had to make the website to maintain control and the correct vibe. You see, my website was born from my realization that Wavy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Bringing people who do not have the correct aesthetics. Right? That's when the website idea was born. Coffee Originals was born as a magazine long ago, right? And it was going to be distributed on a seasonal basis through the Onsulgo services. That was the plan. And people were going to be getting paid $10, right, per chapter through the magazine, my magazine, and $100 bonuses at the end of the year. That's still more money, right? That's basically $140 a year that I would have been paying people with the Coffee Originals magazine if I kept up with it, but then it got hijacked by Wavy. I miscalculated, right? And I was like, oh no. But if I'm with monthly Wavy, I can't pay people what I said I was going to pay them. So people would be getting $140 a year from me. And of course, that would have increased. And some dumbasses would say, $140 a year? That's nothing. Well, if it's nothing, why was your leader struggling to pay $2 to my guy? Right? This is $2 per quarter. So how much is that a year? How much is that a year? $8 a year? While I could have paid you $140 a year? There's no comparison here. Anyway, from the outside, it looks like you are controlling the movement now. I was fine with it, but you have now disregarded multiple things I've said. This video was too much. I asked you not to do it and you did it anyway. I'd like you to take it down. It's unnecessary drama and misinformation. What does this dropout say? No, I'm not taking the video down, but I could do a follow-up if you would like me to address the aspect of you not getting paid as a mistake on my part. But regardless, this video is the first of many that serve as a larger purpose within the series I'm doing on my channel. You mean BS? You're going to do a series of BS? A series of exposing people with your limited information, making your entire video then invalid and untrue? Like, bro, we are waiting. People are waiting for you to drop a video on them. They are waiting because they got receipts on YouTube, bro. They got gang receipts on YouTube. Like, this just shows again yet more that this guy, honestly, has brain damage, bro. He's got brain damage. Growing up in that little house of yours, man, y'all living on welfare, yeah, it really messed you up, didn't it? And nothing has changed. You still have the welfare mindset, still looking for Big Daddy to give you a big handout. You don't believe in hustling. You look down on hustlers because your mama, nigga, looked down on hustling and making money for yourself. Your mama didn't want to get a job, right? Your mama didn't want to get a job, bro. She spoke down on all of y'all for trying to get a job. She cemented that idea that Big Daddy white man gotta save the day. I hate the white man, but you waiting on the white man's government to give you that handout. Huh? Huh? Nigga, get the hell out of here. Young Wavy Comics is my own brand and publishing imprint, so I can publish and partner with anyone I decide. You control your own brand and Coffee Originals. We've already spoken about this. Then he says, where I said I'm the founder, he's like, this idea that I have to listen to you does not make any sense. This isn't a dictatorship. I'm building my own career. I'm my own man. It is a dictatorship. You're the one steering it. You're the one steering it. The people I work with don't have to be associated with you. Focus on Coffee Originals. See? Constant dismissals. Get back to work. Get back to your dungeon. Get back to your jail cell. Get back to your table. Get back to... Bro, this is some prison warden language, bruh. Prison warden language. Y'all are prisoners up in that thing. And creators, that is all you control is your own brand. If you'd like to talk it over a call, see? This, each time he wanted, and I delayed jumping on a call with him because I knew that this nigga, you gonna try to spin it over a call, huh? You think you slick, nigga. You think you're slick. Nah, bro. MANAA itself is a brand and it belongs to me. Okay? It belongs to me and on Sulgo. Right? Yes, it does. But your uneducated ass doesn't get that. It doesn't get that. But it's fine. Then I'm like, but people like Don Fon, who never wanted me on her channel, now representing MANAA, just made no sense. Vain Lover, who screwed me over just to get eyes using MANAA, is also because they dislike me, but you're okay with it because they're working with you. Now, the whole Vain Lover thing, you know, they were so cool towards me in the beginning. The cat's out of the hat right now, or out of the bag. I remember the first email, which was based on me reaching out to them. Hey, would you like to be part of Coffee Originals? I saw your submission to the competition. Your artwork is great. Your character is awesome. And they said no. Then they come back saying, you know what? Yeah, I would like to be part of Coffee Originals. Then I'm like, hold up. Are you sure you don't want to use me to build yourself up? And they're like, nah, that's not the case at all. Well, that was the case. You see, what I don't understand, Vain Lover team, is that did you really think I'm that stupid or something? Did you really think because of your sweet way of speaking, you can just repel any doubt or any common sense I have about how you're moving? Especially when Ed left, right? And you and Santi came against me for making a video about this guy who left after I spent hours creating marketing illustrations that had all our characters. So I wasn't supposed to express that I'm angry that this guy just left after we did all this work. That didn't make any sense. But you know what? I'm done trying to appeal to the slave-minded, right? I'm done. Y'all are crabs in a barrel, man. Crabs in a bucket. Seriously. So many people I thought I was cool with, but I see you throwing me under the bus. We be talking for years in private conversation, right? And then at a drop of a hat, Don Fon releases a video and y'all decide to throw me under the bus. You decide to defend a criminal like Wavy. Wow. But you know what? I cracked the code. On Sugo cracked the code. on how to guarantee them sales. Y'all gonna stay losing. Y'all gonna stay in your gigantic therapy club on Discord, rubbing each other off, not holding each other accountable for lying and scheming and not paying people when they were supposed to be paid, and then saying it's not an issue. It's the new year. Nobody should be panicking over $2 right now. Then pay it. Then pay the $2, man. He then says, Burning Star comics represent what they represent. They don't need to be associated with the term MANAA for me to collaborate with them. That doesn't make any sense. This is the same mistake that Manga Issue is basically making. It's the same problem that Anarchic Press has, right? They allow people who call their work manga to be published there, but it's not manga at all. Then the question is, what exactly does Anarchic Press publish? You see, but uneducated mother effers can't think that far. You're uneducated. Your leader is an uneducated, lying, cheating, no good criminal who would kill every single one of you. Guys, this guy once said, he said on a stream with Fatal J that I've been talking to Coffee for years. Since the garage days when he was at his mom's place. And obviously that insinuates that there is trust and there is friendship here. And he was able to take a knife and stab me. You think he wouldn't stab any of you if he believes you're starting to feel like dead weight? He's gonna stab every single one of you multiple times, look you straight in the eye and not feel a thing as he pierces your flesh, as he punctures your lungs, as you gush out blood from your mouth while he stabs you again and again and again. You put your hand out, Wavy, stop, I thought we were, and he stabs your very hand. This is a sociopath. This is a psychopath. This is a narcissist. I don't care what Don Fon's video says about me because it's all incorrect. And all the stupid comments who don't even know who I am, just licking her musty ass because she's just a girl. Oh, you're right, girl. Let me lick that musty ass. Yeah, I don't care what those people say. However, it's still going to be fun breaking it down. Then he says, the goal is building the non-existent marketplace. What the hell does that even mean, guys? This is so vague. What I ask y'all to ask him, what does this actually mean? You're going to be gaslit too. Then I said, this is like Burger King collaborating with a vegan company. It doesn't work, but it's fine. I can't stop you. I'll make it work easily. If you have any concerns, give me a call. Look at this, guys. Nah, that was about it. As far as I'm concerned, Vain Lava, Santi, and the Show Me guys are opportunistic traders that you are helping grow, but you can handle them accordingly. The growth is together at the moment. At the end of the day, we all have our own lives and career paths. I don't expect to be working with the same exact team in 30 years. That's life. At the moment, everyone is respectful and easy to work with, and the magazine reflects that. When people leave, a new roster will be born. That's publishing. That's business. As long as the marketplace develops, everyone has a chance to win. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because to win is to make returns. So if the goal here is to establish a marketplace, yeah, that is going to take 30 years. In 30 years, I'll be flipping 61 years old, bruh. You think I'm going to be on the internet? I'll probably be dead in 30 years. Right? So... Y'all in a sweatshop, bruh. You're in a sweatshop. You are all just like the band of the Hawks. And you will be sacrificed to the God hand as Griffith sacrificed them. You are all breaking your backs already to earn $2 a quarter. And you think this guy would not feed you to demons if he could? He would straight up sacrifice you. If anything, right, I was Wavy's so-called greatest friend. And he easily sacrificed me to unlock the Mangakyo Sharingan. Not that he did, nigga's still retarded, right? But he believed that, oh, it's fine, I can just sacrifice you then. I'll unlock the Mangakyo Sharingan. Nope, didn't happen. I guess that means more sacrifices needs to be made. And that's all of you. That's all of you, guys. All of you who paid his GoFundMe to go to Japan. He took your money. You don't care that he took your money. You only care that I sound like a dictator, but I'm not one. Right? You care what I sound like. You care about what people portray me as. And you hold that as truth. But when the truth is, Wavy stole your GoFundMe money, right? To go buy Jordans and drugs, right? Wavy ain't paying people on time. Wavy doesn't care to pay people on time. Wavy contradicts himself. You don't care about that. Why? Because Wavy sounds like my anemic little brother when he speaks. So I feel sorry for him. He reminds me of my anemic little brother who's on a wheelchair that has to drink a lot of milk and a few other vitamins to stay healthy. Aww. I can't be mad at Wavy, but you know what, you, Coffee? You remind me of my dad, or the dad I never had. My dad once whooped my ass because I broke the TV. I didn't like that, and that's why Mama divorced him. I hate you, Coffee. You effeminate, soy, pathetic, sissy boy maggots. Y'all a bunch of maggots, bruh. You want me to be less of who I am? You want me to be effeminate like you? Nigga, please, bruh. Bruh, I'm happy and I enjoy being a masculine man, bro. You can call me toxic and what? I don't give a mud. I don't give a mud, bro. My father was in the house. Sorry that yours dipped out, man. Sorry. Okay? Okay, but you ain't gonna police my tone. And you ain't gonna demonize me because of my tone. You weak, spineless, shriveled worms. They're sissy boys. Y'all can't work together long term. You're gonna betray each other. Shame. A real shame. Okay, let's finish up. He then says, opportunistic doesn't make sense when there are very few opportunities to begin with. Nigga, you are the opportunity, bro. You are propelling them into people's attention as I propelled you into people's attention, right? We are all in the same magazine. My job is to help build up everyone that does not have their own brand. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? What's in it for you? I mean, you gotta ask that question, right? To sustain themselves and eventually branch off, building their own publishing imprint and team. That's my goal. That's my job in regards to Young Wavy Comics. You know, this is how Africans actually stay poor, because a lot of them have this exact mindset. I just want to help everyone and let them rise, and then they can go their own way and flourish and leave you in the dirt. That's a very African mindset that you got over there. That's going to keep you broke, just like this continent, bro. Just like this continent. This is self-sabotage. It's very retarded. Like you told me, you're building your own dungeon. I cannot be building a dungeon if I'm paying people, bruh. You're the one who's building a dungeon. You got sweatshop wages, bruh. Right? So I ain't building no dungeon. But at the same time, you preach against that. Don't get mad when creators recognize that dungeon. What dungeon you talking about? Everybody here is getting paid, right? If they reach the number of 1,000 views, they're gonna get paid. How many does Phenomena got right now? What the heck? Does this classify as 1,000? Well, it should say 1K. 0.9K. Okay, yeah, that don't make sense. But guess what? Luck gonna get paid then next week, because I'm sure next week or in a couple of days, this is gonna say 1K. This is gonna say 1K. He's getting paid. He's getting paid, bro. So how then am I creating a dungeon when people are getting paid over here? How is this the case? Right? Crossblade ain't there yet. How is this the case? What about Orca? Yeah, Orca in a couple of days is going to reach a nice 1K. They getting paid. So spare me. This shows that Wavy has a comprehension problem. Like, he has a comprehension problem like a lot of dunce people, right? The people who were made to wear that dunce hat in school and sit in a corner. He has a comprehension problem, and so does a lot of his audience and his sympathizers. You have a comprehension problem. I classified a dungeon something that you work very hard in and don't get paid, or get paid very little. An example of that is Manga Plus creators. I'm not creating a Manga Plus creators dungeon. Manga Plus doesn't pay you, right? Voice Me doesn't pay you. Saturday AM doesn't pay you. They say they do, but do they really? Right? Those are dungeons, bro. I'm paying people. I'm paying people. So what are you talking about? You know? He has a comprehension problem. So y'all are being led by a dunce. He doesn't understand anything. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Don't get mad when creators recognize that dungeon. I told you so every time you mention. Focus on your own story and Coffee Originals, not controlling everything. I will focus on young wavy comics to grow past the dungeons into a sustainable career. Nah, your ish ain't sustainable for everyone I'm working with. It's either we're working together or not, but it's up to you as the founder of Coffee Originals. Look at this. He keeps disassociating me from MANAA itself. This guy, the thing is, Wavy is a sociopath because he does not have the awareness of his predatory intentions. He has no self-awareness of how much of a predator he is, which makes him the most dangerous person you can actually deal with. It won't register in his head if he actually took a knife and cut your guts out. He won't recognize that he's doing something wrong. His head will jumble information to justify why he's doing something. He'll disassociate himself from the act that he's done and call it something else. Instead of stabbing you, he'll call it dabbing you. I was just dabbing him. I didn't know it would lead to blood loss. You know, people dab each other all the time. It's like, wait a minute, bro. Isn't dabbing with a fist bump? You use the knife. Yeah, I mean, the knife was in my hand and I just dabbed him a bit and he bled out. But I don't see how you can blame me for that. It was just a simple dab. You see? This guy would be sentenced to 2,000 years in prison. Yeah. Then I said, so the magazine isn't MANAA at all. It's just a vehicle to push different stories to create a marketplace for American manga adjacent comics. If that's the case, you shouldn't have used the MANAA term at all because it's confusing. It makes sense now, but nobody understands what you just explained. They all thought it's what I've been saying what MANAA is. Maybe make a video clarifying this. Then he said, you already made a video clarifying what MANAA is. I was there. There's no need to backtrack. My work and my actions reflect those values. Regardless of it, I use the term MANAA or not. By default, being an American manga artist is my birthright. Look at how he's trying to indirectly claim this term. This is some childish retardation. I'm not changing that. This is the type of work I create. Motherfucker, listen. No, it's not. What were you creating before I created that term, huh? What were you creating then? You were just making manga, right? Why not just call it that? The fact that he won't let it go. This is what y'all should be asking yourselves. Why don't you let it go? Who cares? If it's not a big deal, why don't you let it go, Wavy? Because he's a narcissistic control freak. That's why he won't let it go. Y'all are enablers of a control freak, of a criminal, of a sociopath. Just because you have not seen him make videos where he's yelling at people and then classify somebody yelling with emphasis as a crash out, you dumb, idiotic, uneducated animals. Gee Louise, bro. Now regarding my direction for the magazine, that is also my choice because I created Monthly Shonen Wavy and my publishing imprint. Now regarding you saying the magazine does not represent your individual vision, that is because I have my own vision for my own publishing imprint. I know what needs to be done. Trust the process, trust the vision, trust the plan, guys. He's playing 5D chess. Trust the plan. I will continue making videos covering this marketplace and American manga. Whether they are controversial or not, I'm not playing it safe anymore. Yeah, you're not playing it safe. You are hiding the fact that you're an uneducated loser. Now, people with a brain will actually see that this mother sucker is retarded. So yeah, don't play it safe. Please continue exposing yourself as a complete idiot and an unethical piece of trash, right? There needs to be change and accountability. Accountability. Yet when I hold up accountability to you, please pay Maxwell, you be like, nigga, I said I'm gonna pay him. He needs to be patient. Is that actually taking accountability? Is it? Is it? This is why I'm saying this guy contradicts himself. He has no self-awareness of the right and wrong decisions he makes. He just believes he's a god that can't do any wrong. Y'all are going to be stabbed and killed by this guy, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you're going to be killed by him one day. I would expect nothing less from you to call me out on bad business practices or any issues you have concerning my publishing model. I've been doing that and he's been dismissing all of it, right? Everybody else that brings concerns to him, he dismisses them. I wouldn't even take it personally. You did, mother effer. I would still work with you and address you professionally. Is this what you call addressing professionally? But at any time, if you want to branch out and exit Wavy Comics, this was the playbook. The playbook was, I want him to branch out eventually or I'll kick him out. Because someone once asked me, what does Wavy see in you? Why does he follow you? Because when I actually pay attention to young Wavy, he's not like you. He doesn't actually agree with what you say, really. What's he doing, hovering around you? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe he sees me as an older brother or something. I don't know. I mean, his dad did dip, so I don't know. Maybe I remind him of Pops. But in actuality, it's not that I reminded him of Pops at all. It was because he was trying to snake me all along. He was trying to coil himself around me so he can bite my head off. Unbelievable, really. It's about to get real competitive this year, and I'm not holding back when it comes to building this marketplace. I'm on the ground floor trying to get us mainstream publishing opportunities. And how's the mainstream working out for everybody there? Look at the mainstream distributors bankrupt, a bunch of mainstream publishers being sold, right? People leaving, getting fired, adopting AI, no real artistic integrity and respect of the craft, and you want to go right in there. Got it. Then I said, okay, cool, but I want to keep working with Ogo because their model of making merch that actually sells is useful and profitable to me. They are merch seller more than traditional publisher now, and that's fine because it's working. So there's no need for any of us to beef anymore. Everybody has a different vision on making returns, and it's fine if it works. See? You see, I was still chill despite him snaking me. Then he's like, I completely understand, and that's fine with me because that's outside of my imprint, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. And this part here, where I'm forced to make that video right now. Guys, anyway, that's it. That's it for this. These were the screenshots. There are other screenshots of him, taking people's money. But I have not been given permission to post those screenshots right now. But at the end of the day, the biggest takeaway here is that this guy's a dictator and he's a sociopath. He could not give somebody $2.40. He couldn't do it. So what makes you think he can give you more than that when the time comes, right? What makes you think he can do that? He loves to de-escalate situations and whatnot and make you feel like you're crashing out, you're in the wrong, basically gaslighting you. This is all the evidence that Wavy is untrustworthy, that he's a crook, he's a criminal, and that all the people rallying behind him are mentally ill Neanderthals, right? Who just like him based on the fact they want to be him because he draws well. It's got nothing to do with what he's actually drawing, the story, the contents of his character, like his individual character. They don't care. They don't know his individual character until now. But it's still much easier to accept that I'm the boogeyman because I sound like a boogeyman. Because Wavy sounds like an anemic little boy stuck on a wheelchair. You've been trained to respect victims and people at the bottom, the forsaken, the aborted, the botched, right? The homeless. You've been trained to accept and exalt losers. Wavy is a loser. He's a dropout. He's a sociopath. He's an anemic, malnourished dipstick. And you exalt him. But because I sound like someone with authority, I sound like I am someone with integrity who has a spine, you have been trained to demonize me. You have been trained to put me at the bottom. so retards and sociopaths like Wavy could be at the top and create policies that end up jacking everybody up. You people are not your own. You do not have the awareness of your own thoughts. You don't know why you like what you like. You're pathetic sheep. Now, I will go take a break and get into that downfound video and post it on Patreon. So if you are interested in my opinion on that disastrous video, you will check out the Patreon. If not, it doesn't matter. But anyways, my people are gonna get paid soon, and that's all there is to it. This is not a dungeon. People get paid on Coffee Originals. That's all there is to it, right? And yeah, the gates are now fully closed for Coffee Originals. I'm not accepting any more submissions. Sorry. You're gonna have to wait until the doors are open again, and I don't know when that's going to be. But that's it for now. Y'all wanna keep supporting a crazy sociopath? Be my guest.